Hey, this is the Blue Dolphin Queen, and welcome to my channel. So today, I'm going to be reviewing the trilogy and movie Tales of Arcadia and Trollhunters: Rise of the Titans. So basically, it's just a 3-ish 4-part TV show movie sort of thing. The first show in the trilogy was Trollhunters: Tales of Arcadia, which is a 3-season show. This starts off by showing the main character named Jim, accompanied by his friends Toby and Claire, as they fight off the evil trolls. It was really a good show, and it kept me on the hook to keep watching. I watched this show many years ago, but I decided to review the trilogy and movie combined now, since the movie just released. But even after many years, I was still able to remember the show, since it was extremely interesting, and I must have been about 12 years old watching it. And the second part of the trilogy, which I actually happened to watch a lot later, even after the third part. But the second part is called Three Below, and it's a 2-season show. It centers mainly on these aliens who have come from a different planet and is a lot different from the first part of the trilogy. It centers on 3 aliens, Aja, Krell, and Varvatos Vex. Aja and Krell have lost their parents and are under Varvatos' care. They need to fight the evil aliens from their planet, and in 1 or 2 episodes, they meet Jim, Toby, and Claire. I thought maybe the writer could have included Jim, Toby, and Claire a little bit more in the second part of the trilogy, especially since the shows were supposed to intersect with one another. And I really think Del Toro could have made the shows a bit more intertwined, while still having the center of attention on the 3 aliens. So I think that was my least favorite part of the trilogy and movie combined. Finally, the third part of the trilogy was also a huge favorite of mine, and I actually wanted to watch this before the second part since it had Dukesy, who was voiced by Colin O'Donoghue, who played Captain Hook in the show Once Upon a Time. And you can find the video of my review of that show at the end of this video. So anyway, the third part of the trilogy is called Wizards and is a 1-season show. I thought that this really incorporated both the first and second parts of the trilogy really well. I can't really decide between which of Wizards or Trollhunters: Tales of Arcadia were the better show, since they both were one of my favorites to watch, and I would definitely rewatch them again. Then there's the movie Trollhunters: Rise of the Titans. I have to say, that was an amazing and brilliant way to conclude the series. They incorporated every single character into one movie, which all the characters just sort of fit in. I couldn't think of a better finale, but in a well-meaning way, I do wish the series would end with this movie, because everything up until this fits perfectly. But if they are going to continue, I don't know how it would work. Because one thing I really didn't like about the movie is the fact that Toby became the troll hunter. The writer should have just kept Jim as the troll hunter, and the fact that Toby became it just screwed things up. I also was constantly wondering why the writer began to kill off so many good characters in the movie. But as usual, in many TV shows, they brought back the dead. Overall, I think the voice acting was spot on and the emotion was clearly conveyed. If I were to pick the best show/movie from the trilogy and movie, I think it might be the Trollhunters: Tales of Arcadia, the first part of the trilogy, since that's what originally hooked me into the show. And for the final rating, I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10, based on performance, storyline, voice acting, and characteristics. It was a great show, and I definitely recommend it for kids, teens, and even adults because of its great storyline and characters. If you have a different opinion about the trilogy Tales of Arcadia or the movie Trollhunters: Rise of the Titans, or just any other TV show recommendations that I should watch, just let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe as well. Thanks for watching!